Hey guys, Jared Littner here with Bass U TV. Out here on beautiful Lake Seminole. One of my favorite ways to catch a bass is punching, and I'm kind of going to demonstrate a little bit and what I look for, how I do things, my setup. But as you can see right here, out ahead of me, we got some dead hyacinths. One of my favorite things to flip, actually. That, pennywort, hydrilla, the list goes on and on. Reed heads that are blowing over, log jams, pretty much anything that is lodged to a bank or offshore. You want a big weight and you want to get in there, you want hand-to-hand combat, punching is the deal for you. You know, and along with that, offshore hydrilla. Like here, you know, in a few months, out beyond us here, there's going to be a whole ridge of matted hydrilla, like where it's right on the creek channel edge. So you're not just up against the bank, you can punch out in the deeper water on creek channel edges, where it seems like you'd throw a big crankbait, but it's obviously weeds. So first of all, you better have the right setup. You know, I use a Ritual Angling 7'11" extra heavy rod. I do have a prototype coming with a little bit more. It's a little bit softer. It'll be out soon. I gave the okay for it, so I'm pumped on that. 60-pound FX2 Sunline braid. If you're not using braid, you're gonna get your feelings hurt. I can promise you that. For these conditions, you know, in the type of structure or the depth and the hyacinths that I'm fishing here, I can get through there pretty comfortably with an ounce and a half, or sorry, excuse me, ounce and a quarter. Sometimes in a hydrilla or what have you, you have to go up to a 2 ounce. Other times I go all the way down to a 3/4 ounce. So I want to throw the lightest weight possible to get through whatever I'm fishing. Sometimes, like I said, it's ounce and a half. Sometimes it's 1 ounce. Doesn't matter, let the conditions dictate what size weight to throw. This here is Eco Pro tungsten. You don't need a insert or anything. It's good to go. It's not going to hurt your braid. Bobber stops are a must. And the meat and potatoes is that Trocar monster flipping hook. You got to have a hook that's not going to flex out on you when you set the hook. There's a lot of force being generated on a 7'11" rod, 60-pound braid, a Bantam Shimano Bantam high gear ratio reel. You got to have the right hook. That Trocar monster flipping hook is the deal. So what I'll do is I'll look for these banks that are leading back in. This is pre-spawn, leading back into spawning pockets. Behind us here we have a spawning pocket. On that side we have a spawning pocket. So they might use this edge. If you can find a ditch that leads through underneath, you know, these hyacinths or pennywort or whatever you're flipping, that's even better. But what I'm doing is I'm visibly looking for a target point. Even though this all looks the same, to me, there's key little areas in here where I would expect to get a bite. I'll fish it all, but I consider, like right now, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots that I'm expecting. Like I'm like, man, there should have been one there. And those are these little key points. So first of all, if you notice this one, it makes a point, and that hyacinth is taller than anything else around here, and it's more matted, more congested. That's a high percentage spot. Right here, this flip right here, where you got 2 different types of vegetation coming together, that is a high percentage area. Anytime where you have 2 different types of vegetation, 3's even better, meeting in one spot, that is a high percentage area. Now, when you're fishing down through something like this, obviously, you know, sometimes the bite's going to be, you know, a real hard, crisp bite. Sometimes it's just a little, feels like something, you know, you're on grass and it's just pulling back kind of. So you got to have a sensitive rod. That's where a good quality Ritual Angling rod will come into play. But experiment with your retrieve or the action you're giving that bait. You know, sometimes in cold water, this will be my retrieve right here. Let it fall and just real slow, real slow. Other times, like now, I feel like the water temp here is 63.2. I feel like these fish want to feed because they want to go and spawn. So I'm going to give it a couple little quick snaps. You know, other times a day, you know, especially on a cold front day, this is one little trick I'll tell you here.
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Glusek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests. From on the water to in the classroom, you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills. Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best. Subscribe to Bass University TV today.